to Halcyon, the city of hopes and dreams. Superpowered supervillains lay their super schemes. And if you want to take them on, you're gonna need a team to win the fight. But for the Varsity Knights, teenagers by day, superheroes by night, young and strong and daring and ready to fight. When evil comes around to take a bite,
watch out for megabytes.
But for the Varsity Knights.
Cool.
We are here. We
Yeah.
are ready.
Welcome back, everybody, to the world of Halcyon City. Do people remember enough if we go around and say a thing that you enjoyed or a thing that was a highlight for you in the last couple of sessions?
Diego really, Diego was going through some emotional turmoil, splitting away from the party to do his own thing. Felt weird. Let's call it weird.
Weird is a good word for it.
Favorite part of it, I got to use Moment of Truth, which was cool, and stopped him, which was also cool. I enjoyed Tyson not blowing up the ship.
Yeah. Seems like you wanted that to happen. Yeah, you stopped Dreadwolf from teleporting away using the Atlantean tech.
Yes.
Oh, I really liked when I Blaine interrogated.
That was cool, a little bit concerning.
Not really sure for who. I'm getting more powerful.
Rin favorite is Seafarah flirting with Diego.
Cool. We are going to go straight to the Aegis compound, unless there is any conversation that's happening between Nell and Tyson along the way that we want to see.
Nell is very anxious on the ride, very much like tapping hands, tapping feet, really wants to get wherever they're going a bit faster, and asks the driver a lot of questions. So, where are we going?
Aegis headquarters?
How far is that?
Should be another 20 minutes if we follow the traffic laws.
What if we didn't?
The driver doesn't say anything to you, but you can sense a smirk as the sirens come on, and he just steps on the gas and the car continues accelerating.
Nell was leaning forward, suddenly is like pasted against the back of the seat, and just sort of looks at Tyson like, okay, that's kind of cool.
So, to be clear, Kitty is coming with to this base.
So, Kitty wanted to come with to wherever Megabyte's stuff was, but she does not want to get into the Aegis system.
Okay.
So that's why she didn't get in the car, and she's literally just kind of, running behind it, because she can do that. But if it's going to the Aegis base, I don't know that she would have gone in, because that does also get her more likely into their system.
Yeah, so you think that Kitty's just following behind, and then once she sees where it is.
Yeah, be like,
inside.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nell will send a text to Kitty before they go inside as like a, if you don't hear from us for a long enough time, something went wrong, kind of thing.
And so we see the car pulling up in front of the Aegis base. What color is Kitty's costume again?
Flashy purple.
Alright, like a flashy purple streak just following right behind it and immediately ducks up between two other cars in the parking lot to hide out. The driver comes out, opens the back door to let Hati and Spectre out.
Can I charge up? I just want to have some burns on me.
Sure, you can do that.
I want to be able to have burns on me. Cops get guns, I want some burns.
Alright, charge up. Go for it. What's his charging up look like for you in this scenario?
Since he always has some type of focus that lets him still walk. I like the idea of just him squeezing his fists together like Angry Arthur kid. The meme, you have them right by his sides.
Psychs himself up.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 6, which is actually possibly bad for you.
On a miss, hold 2 burn and mark 3 conditions.
Oof.
So I think we see, Tyson, your aura starting to flare up inside of your mind's eye. But then you're starting to think of all the other things that have happened recently, how you almost blew up the ship, and you start to just feel afraid of your own power in a way. And in attempting to close down on your powers fight back at you. And you're starting to, I guess, realize how much you don't actually know about this ability that you have.
If his hands are by his sides, can he maybe like burn the seat a little bit? He feels a little bad about that. Like the driver, maybe the driver doesn't know, but it's like it happens real quick in this one.
And for that matter, Aegis employs various different bits of technology to help fight, combat, detect metahuman activity. One of the things that they've been using in the past that we've seen is metahuman activity trackers. And I believe that right outside of their headquarters, they have plenty of these all over the place to make sure that when they're attacked, they're ready to respond. And so as this happens, you hear an alarm go off. And then turrets pop up immediately, focusing in on the area that this is coming from. All of them facing in towards Tyson, who has just gone out of the car.
He leans over to Nels. I think they're here for you. And he just gets back in the car.
Nell just stares at all of these turrets.
And as this alarm goes off, the front door is open, and you see Agent Hammerhead walking out, Bob Greco just kind of like struggling to keep up behind her as she yells, "Turn off the turret! Security override Alpha Omega 3! It's voice printed, don't try anything."
Wasn't even thinking it.
And the turrets go back into the building, and Agent Hammerhead approaches the two of you and says, "Howdy, Spectre. I'm so glad you can make it. Now, I heard you have some business with our dental friend's technology, is that correct?"
Yeah.
Great. Come with me. We got business to discuss.
Is it quick sort of business? Or is it the, like, we need to get lawyers involved kind of business?
Why don't you just come with me and find out, huh?
I don't like that answer. Because if it's not the quick kind of business, then I kind of need to, like, figure something else out quick.
I make a point not to talk about Aegis business out in public, and she motions towards the rest of the city that is immediately like surrounding the parking lot.
Right, but this isn't like details. This is really just is this gonna be like a quick thing, or is this gonna be I should tell my parents I'll be home late thing?
You know what? It'll be quick. Why not? Let's go. And she's walking away from you. Come on, Spectre.
Nell is following and takes this moment to text Kitty real quick while saying, you know, if it's not quick, then like I will just kind of leave.
I could go and you can just leave and I'll get the tools and it'll be real quick. That'd be fine. Why be real quick? Tyson's maybe trying to call a bluff.
Yeah. You know what? That sounds like a great idea. Why don't you come with me?
Oh, I hate all of it.
For the record, the reply to Nell's last text was thumbs up emoji, followed by heart emoji, followed by winky emoji.
Nell's like periodic texts are just emoji rather than like full sentences to be able to just like send them quickly. Trying to make them like somewhat flirty emoji, but because trying to do it like quickly and secretly, sometimes it's something awkward like a tree. Or like a race car.
Race car sweat drops.
Or just like, you know, trying to be winky face or like
sick face?
One of the many colored hearts, like something. And Nell is feeling now protective of Tyson and is definitely staying with him.
Alright, so the two of you head inside. Let's look at what's happening down below the earth. So we see ourselves in a long, twisted... To call it a hallway would be incorrect because that would imply that it was made with that intention. This is just an opening. The roots seem to almost insulate even the dirt from getting into this area. It's just a hollow section that's surrounded on all sides by wooden, tangled, twisting vines.
Whoa.
This place is completely empty, except a small spark of lightning begins to form, and then it gets bigger and bigger, and then as Seafarer and El Chameleon pop into the space.
Oh! Wait, Warna, dude!
I told you what was going to happen. You were going to be teleported.
You know, girls have taken me home before, and they ask
they?
much nicely than that.
Have they?
Well, to hang out, to listen to AC/DC and do quote-unquote homework. It was good times back in the day, way back.
Mm-hmm. So let's get going. I think it is this way, although we might need you to help clear a path for some of these. And so the two of you begin walking down along this long corridor. You get the sense that basically what's happened is that Seafarer has taken you to the same place that Soozan Ooze teleported to, but this isn't the heart just yet. There are occasional rough patches of brambles where Seafarer can't fit through them, but you, with your new amorphous body, can just ooze right through them, through the blocked areas, and then help to clear it from the other side.
As he's doing that, he'll take a moment to be like, this is actually kind of useful. I still want to kill her. Is that bad to say?
You want... I don't think it's the most healthy thing to say, no.
Yeah, I knew it.
But I understand where you're coming from.
Do you?
I do.
I mean, do you really?
You asked me before whether or not I had friends that I butted heads with back home.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the truth is that I didn't have too many friends back home because of who I am back in Atlantis.
What, a really cool ass kicker?
Well, yeah, that's part of the problem, actually. You know about Calfax, Prince of the Seas, before, right? He is my mentor.
Of course. I feel like it didn't register at first that she said he's my mentor. He's like, oh, of course. The kid had a #1 issue. Wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, most people know about him from his teenage years run that became comics. He's 40 now.
The Calfax is your...
Calfax, the king of the seas now. He was looking for a protege to take on, and he chose me. But most of Atlantis was not happy about that. Because I'm part of a clan known as the Rakthum, or the Shark Clan.
That sounds pretty cool, like Street Sharks, like that 90s show.
Seafarer rolls down the collar on her costume to reveal where her gills are, and it looks like a set of ragged red gashes that are just like torn into her neck. It doesn't look like this is an injury, but this is just like part of her biology.
Mm-hmm.
She says, yes, I don't think that my clan is bad anymore, but most of Atlantis doesn't agree because the Rakthum led a rebellion that almost destroyed the city a long time ago. So part of the reason why I came here as an exchange student was to get away from all that, because people refused to accept that I would be the seafarer.
They took one look at you and they decided you were guilty, huh? Yeah, I know what that feels like. You know, the Varsity Knights, love them, I do. But they don't get it. Especially the kid. I mean, I love him like a little brother, I really do. But he doesn't get the way the world works. He doesn't get that he's got the world in his fingertips. And we don't. We're villains.
I don't think of myself as a villain.
I didn't either.
Do you now?
Let's just keep going, okay?
Okay. And you continue walking.
He's gonna break bad a little bit.
Yeah.
Feeling inspired, are you?
I have ideas for the next fight. It's pretty brutal.
Meanwhile, Kitty, you are staking out the outside of this place.
It seems like if you didn't have anything that you wanted to happen with her outside of Aegis, one thing that she could do is basically break into a shop and steal a motorcycle helmet.
Oh yeah, you can do that.
In this meantime.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because, she doesn't have one right now. She also doesn't have, normal clothes with her right now, or money, or the ability to afford a motorcycle helmet anyways.
Is she gonna be doing this in ricochets, guys, or...?
I think she would kind of have to.
She steals a motorcycle helmet and just writes IOU, signed Ricochet.
Okay. So, you can definitely steal something from a store. I will ask if you want to not be seen doing it.
That is the desire, yeah. She's not particularly good at this, which I think is pretty fun. Alright, that is a 6. Do I get to mark potential?
Yes, unless you want to spend team selfishly in order to bump that up to a partial success.
Do it.
That also seems like a lot of fun.
Okay. So
It's a very selfish act she's doing right
So I
now.
need you to describe how what you're doing is
Hurting the
the
team.
and then you can shift any label down and freak out.
Okay. I feel like she plants the seed that it's somebody else from the team that did it, because that would be how she's both hurting the team and also keeping it away from herself.
Okay.
One of the things that she would have been doing is using her stop stuff in place to stop cameras that possibly move with motion. So I really like the idea that she basically stops a camera so that it happens to be looking at some kind of drippy, moldy wall, and then just does her best Diego impression.
Wow. Fake.
She's don't mind me, I need this. And takes the motorcycle helmet.
Wow.
Okay, cool. And then finally, because this is a partial success, either mark a condition or I will tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary.
Okay, I think she feels guilty. Guilty is the one that makes a lot of sense. It's not a very nice thing she did.
I thought you were just gonna say build the Varsity Knights or something. No, straight up
she
imitated.
frames Diego.
Wow.
I think, Kitty, actually, as you are leaving the store, you go to exit to the back room and you see a poster on the wall that is of your dad.
Oh.
This is one of his campaign posters, and the slogan on it is, "Keep Tucker Island safe, keep crime off our streets." Again.
Oh, man.
This is a weird use of this rule, but basically, the label shift that is happening is savior down, danger up.
Alright, that
If you
makes
accept
sense.
that.
Yeah, I'll accept that.
Meanwhile, we see that Spectre and Hati are being led through the Aegis base into the detention area. We go past a couple of cells with familiar figures in them. We see a dejected wolf person just sitting in the corner, staring at the wall. And you are led into a small, sparsely appointed conference room. Agent Hammerhead takes a seat. Bob stands behind her because there isn't a chair for him. But there are 2 chairs for the 2 of you laid out. Agent Hammerhead says, "Go ahead, take a seat. Sounds like we got something to discuss around our dental friend."
Not until we have a seat here, please, for Bob.
Bob, you want to go get yourself a seat?
I mean, he could just take mine. I'm a little too
I insist.
anxious
I
to
insist.
sit.
So, as Bob leaves the room to go grab himself a seat, Agent Hammerhead continues, "What is it that you want with our friend Megabyte, huh?
We want his tool so he can just dig a hole. Precisely.
And what's this for, You want access to super villainous technologies?
We want access to precision-grade tools, urgently.
Okay. So, the normal process is you have to put in a requisitions form for any kind of evidence that we have impounded. It kind of sounds like you're asking me to do this off the books. Is that correct?
Or just delay the forms until after, like tomorrow.
As a distinguished member of Aegis, I think you should allow us to have certain liberties when there are situations that require such liberties. Please and thank you.
You're a member of Aegis now.
Why you're treating me such?
You know, being a member of Aegis does come with a couple of other responsibilities. For example, and she starts to like pull something up, but then the door opens and Bob drags a chair in and it squeaks against the ground. He takes a seat. Sorry, was I interrupting something?
Nope, you're great. So, could we just fill in the requisition forms tomorrow?
For example! And she points to a wall and a projector immediately pops up with a prepared slideshow, so clearly she was ready for this.
Wow. Terrific.
Aegis agents cannot be attacking students. A picture of the two of Chet's friends that you hurt at the party pops up. Aegis agents cannot blow up a group home that's providing a service to the community, as a picture of that group home and the remains of it pop up.
He wants to slam his hand on the table, but I don't want to scare anybody.
Alright, Tyson slams his hand on the table.
Slams his hand on the table. That place was a terrible place and you know it!
I ain't done. Aegis agents cannot mess with the
Tyson
heads
gets
of
up
our...
and leaves.
The door is locked.
Big boom. He puts his other arm on it and sees for sure if it's locked.
Oh yeah, it is locked.
He does what any self-respecting 12-year-old would do, and he puts his fingers in his ears and he turns around and puts his back to the cops.
He does make a point that this isn't actually helping our current conundrum.
What I'm saying is that your friend, no matter how much he doesn't want to know it, is a danger to all of society. And you're getting this vibe regardless of how much you're trying to tune this out. She's trying to shift your danger up and your savior down. Do you accept that?
My danger's already up.
Okay. If you accept it, then you just mark a condition. Otherwise, you can try to resist it.
If you mark a condition, you have 2 conditions left.
And if you fail to resist it, then you'd be marking 2 conditions.
Okay.
Okay. So that is a 7. On a 7 through 9, you can clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong. Shift 1 label up and 1 label down, your choice, or cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them.
What would I be proving them wrong?
Proving wrong that you are a danger.
It's a hard thing to prove.
Yeah.
The way that you could prove her wrong in this scenario is to allow yourself to be limited.
To be limited?
Yeah.
How?
Aegis has been trying to control you in various different ways. Basically, submitting to that would be how you prove her wrong.
No, she can get fucked and stay fucked.
Unless you can think of a different way to prove her wrong.
My thought was you didn't blow up the ship. There was an almost big boom and you contained it. So it did not big boom.
Can Nell say it for Tyson?
Or does it have to be?
No, it would not. It would be Tyson. Tyson has to do this one.
Tyson then wants to telepathically send that to her. Just throw it into her brain.
Okay.
Because, I did just, in Terrabrain, whatever, I went into their brain, and so I think it would be on brand for him to go into Hammerhead's brain.
Oh, you try. You try, but it doesn't work. It's like your powers aren't there.
Ooh, would he even be able to stand?
It's a good question.
At what point does he fall down?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty dramatic.
As you went to the door, when you heard it click locked, that's when that would have happened.
I'm staring at Michael, but I'm throwing some energy there. I don't mean to be intimidating.
No, it's good. It's all good.
Tyson's legs buckle, and he
His legs buckle, and as they buckle, he like spins out a bit and holds on to the knob, and he is staring like bullets at Officer Hammerhead. And
Nell goes over and makes sure he doesn't fall. No?
He's just gonna hold himself up, and then he's just gonna let himself go to the floor while just still staring at her, because there's fuck all that he can do.
Yeah. And Agent Hammerhead continues addressing Nell. As you might imagine, as Aegis agents, we know better than to put ourselves in an enclosed space with a potential risk without an insurance policy. So we used one of our interrogation rooms for this conversation. Now, you want Megabytes technology. I can get you that, but you gotta give me something in return. Rather, I should say, it's your friend that I'm interested in. He needs to be monitored because he's got potential, but it is raw and uncontrolled. I've been doing my best to be nice to you, but you haven't said yes to any of my offers, even when I tried to throw in goodies for you. We can give you a limiter for you to wear until your powers are more controlled. Now, how does that sound?
It's your choice, buddy. I'm with you either way.
He's stewing. All that Tyler hears is, "You have to die too." you took away a child's dignity.
Yeah. I'll give you some time to think about it. And Agent Hammerhead gets up, gets into like a second chamber that's like one of those hermetically sealed ones that such that one door opens, but there's another door behind it, and they both shut so that nobody can leave the room behind her. And she says, "Do consider the offer. This is the nicest we're gonna be from this point on." And then she walks away, leaving you two and Bob Grieco in the room.
Sidebar. This is a crime. This is wrongful detainment.
Yeah, it
Of
is.
children.
Just for shits and giggles, Nell tries to summon their axe just to see if it works.
I don't believe it works in this room, no.
Wow, I hate this place.
I don't think Tyson could ever be angrier, and I think it's just silence.
I think I'm gonna ask you to take a powerful blow.
Oh, okay. Well,
Nell sends a sad face to Kitty.
all I want
That
to
goes
do,
through.
all I want to do is just net me a hammerhead.
Roll to take a powerful blow for me, please. And plus conditions marked.
That's a lot.
And you want to roll low.
Is it even possible for you to like...
It's always possible.
1, 2, 3 conditions.
Ah! You did it!
Nice.
You mark potential and you manage to hold yourself together.
Nice.
Bob
Yahtzee.
Bob looks over at you and says, "I'm so sorry, Tyson. I tried to tell her that she wants to make sure that you are safe to yourself and also to others. But she doesn't see you as... She doesn't see any of the capes really as people."
And what do you see?
Well, I do see, right now, Spectre. But I also see that same kid that I saw grow up and likes comic books and pizza. I don't think what's being done to you is right.
Then what are you gonna do about it?
Can you roll to provoke him?
Oh, what are you gonna do about it?
That's a 6.
You get a +1 since you have influence over him. He cares what you think of him.
It's a 7.
And that means that, instead of choosing one of the halfway options, he's actually going to say, "You're right. I've learned a lot while I've been here. Did you know that Aegis has a deal with Megabyte where he provides free dental care to all of our inmates in exchange for early releases.
He's not a dentist.
He is extremely talented in dental arts, but he's also, in his file, it says harmless.
He is passionate about oral hygiene.
Most of the collateral damage that comes from him primarily comes out of the wallets of local dentists, because anybody who's caught in one of his attacks no longer has to go to the dentist for the next year.
But he took apart the dinosaurs at the museum.
Yeah, he does damage property occasionally, but that's...
It's just a nuisance.
it works out overall. What I'm saying is, I can get you Megabyte's gear. I can also get you Megabyte himself if you want.
I don't know that I trust him.
If we tell him that this is part of his Aegis deal, he'll honor it.
I mean, I probably don't know how to use his stupid tools anyway. Fine.
Okay. In that case, punch me.
Why?
Punch me. It'll make it look like you got my stuff, and that way, I can keep on working for Aegis.
Yeah, but
be
then
your
I
person
look,
on the inside.
but then I look bad.
Okay. Here. He unclips his badge and gives that to you. Gives one to Tyson. Goes over to a panel on the wall and presses some buttons. Tyson, your legs start working again.
Yay!
Okay. You just go down the hallway. Megabyte's gear is in the evidence locker 2 doors down from here. Megabyte himself is just a little bit further. And he gets up onto a chair and he's measuring the distance towards the table. Be like, I can say I fell and I knocked myself out.
This is getting real.
Nell just breaks the fucking door. Yeah, we got the keys and shit, but Nell's angry and fed up with this place and is irritated at what they're doing with Tyson and isn't gonna take it out on a person, but absolutely will take it out on Aegis property.
Yeah.
And just fucking breaks the door down.
Heck yeah. The door comes crashing down underneath your axe strength. Do you even use your axe for this?
No, don't even use the axe, just kick the door down with super strength because fuck this shit.
And you hear an alarm start blaring through the facility as this happens. You've got a pretty clear shot towards Megabyte and his gear, so you think that you could probably get him, but it's a matter of getting both of these out. That might be a bit of a challenge. Meanwhile, outside, Kitty, you're hearing this alarm going off.
Sends a text, everything okay?
Trying on your new helmet.
If
I think
there's
she's already wearing it.
if there's an emoji that represents the concept of oops, it's that.
This one.
Shrug.
The shrug one.
Shrug with the devil face.
Ah.
The mischievous devil face.
Yes, that sounds good. Which one do you want? Do you want the gear or do you want the person?
You.
Great.
And the two of you rush down the hallway.
Yep.
Meanwhile, underneath everything, we see the two of you continue walking. I think this has been a much more quiet scene than what's going on.
Yeah.
We see Seafarer using a jet of water to cut through some of the smaller brambles that are in your path. Clears a way for you.
I want to say that Diego spent some time trying to awkwardly flirt.
What did that look like?
Just shit, man. I don't know.
Make sure.
No.
Yes, please. Awkwardly flirt with my fiance on recording.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
We've done this already.
He'll be he'll look around and, it looks kind of sketchy. He's like, I love horror movies. If I didn't know any better, I think you brought me here to murder me.
Okay.
Bad shit. Yeah, I wouldn't mind it if you tried. No.
Diego, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to try so hard.
Oh. Wow. What does that mean?
Listen, I think we're getting close.
I think so too.
I-
He puts hand.
To Soozan.
He removes the hand from the shoulder. Right.
I don't I've never been able to defeat her. And you'll excuse me at my saying so, but I don't know if you will be able to either. You have her powers, but she knows how to use them better.
But neither one of us has anything to lose. Your mentor was Calthax. My mentor was a science teacher. I'm a nobody. So is she.
I don't think that we should fight her, is what I'm saying. Listen, I know that you care a lot about your team, about others. I've seen how selfless you are.
No, I'm not that selfless. No. I almost betrayed my own team because I was promised a cure. So, no. She did this to me. She's paying.
She is trying to save your labels.
I'm resisting that.
Okay. Cool.
That's an 8.
All right. What do you want to do? Do you want to clear condition, mark potential?
I want to mark potential.
Yeah. So how are you gonna prove her wrong?
And she's trying to...
She was trying to get your savior up and say that you are a kind person, essentially.
Fuck you, I'm not kind.
Oh, but that one feels like so not in character right now.
Push her down? Throw dirt on her?
No. I'm not gonna be
mindset right now.
I'm not gonna be that much of an asshole, but I will maybe just like become confrontational a little.
Okay.
So she's trying to be nice, and I'm just like, no. Look, I'm sorry. Okay, I like you. You're very nice, but you don't know me. You just met me the other day. You don't know what I'm capable of, and neither does Soozan. And I'm gonna show both of you. And I'm just gonna walk ahead, determined to fight and not listen.
Okay.
And not market potential.
All right, do it. Meanwhile, we see Tyson opening up the evidence locker, and there is a ton of stuff here, but there is one section that is very clearly labeled with megabytes, do not touch, needed for dental procedures.
Takes it all!
Yep. Meanwhile, on the other side, with the alarms going off as Nell runs up towards the laser shield that is in front of Megabyte, who is pacing and drawing something onto the side of his cell, which seems to be an equation, except some of the symbols are replaced with teeth of various different kinds.
Yeah, that's clearly a whole lot easier than X's and Y's.
And as you approach, Megabyte turns around and says, "Who dares approach Megabyte for your routine cleaning appointment?" Oh, it's you!
Yep. You want to go on a field trip?
Where are we going?
Do you want to do a root canal?
I haven't done a root canal in quite some time.
Well, this will be an exciting one.
Very well.
Where's the off button for the lasers?
Onto the side. You can press the badge that Bob gave you up to that.
One quick question.
Yeah.
The door that Nell broke, how important was it?
I would say breaking something in the Aegis base counts as important.
Wonderful. I will just clear angry
Nice.
now.
Yeah.
Scans the badge. She's like, great. I haven't figured out how we're getting out yet, but we're doing it.
I'm not supposed to be leaving? I thought you were working with the Aegis group?
So, yes, but also a little bit no. It's complicated. We'll explain on the way.
Okay.
You're not technically allowed out yet. We're doing it early, but you are supposed to be helping us with this thing as part of your deal with them. So if this thing goes bad, then so does your deal. But I was impatient.
Can you roll to provoke him?
All right, that is 11 on its own.
So he takes all this in and just says, I'm sure that you know what you're doing. You did defeat me after all. And any previous nemesis of mine is now a friend. I make friends.
Oh man.
Great, Tyson's getting your gear.
Wonderful. Who?
Don't mind that.
Okay! And then we see the two groups converging. Tyson running. Are you carrying the gear or is it like levitating behind you?
What is it? How much is it?
Basically, it's a giant cartoon bag with a big tooth on it.
Oh my god. He is telepathically dragging it behind him.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Like a mage hand.
As the two of you begin running towards what you assume would be an exit, we see a group of Aegis guards getting in the way.
I feel like I could make an exit by doing overcharge. Could I create, like, literally an escape tunnel?
Yeah, you could definitely use your telekinesis to basically, like, punch through the building.
Tyson grabs Nell by the wrist. We're gonna go this way! And like,
Alright.
looks around and he's looking for a wall that maybe he could just punch through without horrible damage. He knocks us right through.
Alright, and that brings you to the outside of the Aegis building. Kitty, as you're seeing this all happening, you see a big cloud of dust kick out from the side of one of the buildings, immediately followed by the silhouettes of first Spectre, then Nell, and then Megabite. The turrets on the outside begin popping up, and they're going to start targeting the running away people.
Kitty would like to try and freeze those turrets in place with her powers.
Yeah, do it. You can definitely do it, but I believe this is a defend roll rather than a unleash roll.
So that would be using my savior?
Yes.
Okay. 6 plus 3, which is a 9.
9, okay. On 7 through 9, either expose yourself to danger or escalate the situation.
I like escalate the situation.
So I think that means that basically you realize that you can't freeze them all in time, and so you're going to have to destroy them instead.
Okay. Because she doesn't have, like powers that blow anything up, and she like starts freezing some of them and uses the energy to then just run up to the other ones and start pulling the muzzles off the guns.
You're basically like super speeding between all of them and just like disassemble one, point one at another one before it shoots. And you have to choose one from this list here.
Oh, the defend list. Okay.
Yes.
I think she's gonna clear her guilty. She's just like, see, I needed this helmet. Couldn't do it without this helmet.
Diego will understand.
He's already like hated by everybody.
It's not even gonna get back to him. It'll be fine.
And the three of you, plus Megabite, plus a big giant cartoon bag, all reconvene on the outside as you see Aegis agents swarming out to try to get to their vehicles.
Since I broke something important, do I get to clear my anger?
Yeah.
You broke Aegis property.
Yeah, this is gonna be a whole thing if this continues.
Right? Like, this is a big
Mayhem! Speaking of mayhem, Diego, you ran up ahead of Seafarer, and that means that you begin to see this glowing soft white light first. As you get towards the end of this section, you see a big cavernous area surrounded on all sides by this wooden root bramble. Hovering in the middle of it is a small white crystal so bright that you cannot see the outline of it. You can only see the light that it radiates.
Like the sun.
Yes.
Like a star.
But this crystal is surrounded on all sides by various pieces of technology. You recognize it, Atlantean in nature, and a little bit of Hashimoto Corp technology mixed in there as well. This is all the stuff that Soozan Ooze is currently going around to set up, getting it ready to extract the world of Yggdrasil.
Do I see her?
Yes.
Oh.
She's in the middle of doing all of this.
I feel bad even saying this, but I think Diego would 100% say, I'm back, bitch. And just start charging her like, you did this to me!
Okay. You just want to, like, charge in.
I want to clear my anger and I hurt her.
Okay. Yeah!
I lost my powers because of her.
So the funny thing is, you charge at her,
Oh no.
and basically what happens is the two of you get stuck together harmlessly because neither of you is made of something that can hurt the other. Oh no! And Soozan just bounces back a little bit and says, hello, chameleon.
Don't you hello me and I'm gonna try again.
No, it does nothing. Your body, your physiology, straight up cannot interact with hers in the way that you want it to.
He's gonna go like a punching bag.
Yeah. And as you're doing this, she just continues talking as you're punching her face repeatedly. I was really hoping that you would come around.
Shut up!
It's not too late. I'm going to drain this thing of everything it has, which might create enough cure for the both of us.
Cure what?
Oh, did you forget the reason why we made this deal in the first place? Of course, you betrayed me on the boat.
You were gonna hurt my friends.
Your friends? I don't see any of them here.
As she says that, you hear another voice from the path that you came in. I'm here, and I'm his friend. As Seafarer stands, she's got 2 glowing orbs of water ready, but she looks nervous. You remember back to what she said previously of, I've never beaten Soozan Ooze.
Yeah.
Good.
Now wait. She's with me, okay? You don't touch her.
You still think that you have friends? Nobody likes people like us. Anybody who does is only trying to use you.
Okay, you know what? That's enough. We came here to stop you, and we're gonna stop you. I'm gonna start smashing the things.
Okay. You're gonna try to smash all of the equipment?
The equipment.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm specifically going for
I'm gonna
physical
ask
thing.
you to unleash your powers because this is an unfamiliar body to you.
Okay.
You are not a smashy thing, you are liquid.
Yeah. Roll and then see what happens. That's an 11.
Awesome, okay. So, as you realize that you cannot hurt Soozan, you level one fist towards one piece of this technology, and then you briefly have a thought of, how was it that Soozan hurt things?
Can I say that he does it slowly?
Mhm.
He's about to hit, and he's just like, huh. And he tries to squeeze into the gadgets and mess with them from
And
the
you're trying to,
inside.
basically break them apart from
Yeah,
the inside. by
from the
expanding out.
inside.
And as you begin doing this, you see Soozan.
No! I will not let you ruin everything that I have built to!
And she presses a button on another thing, and you hear the technology begin to roar to life. Meanwhile, on the outside, you are beginning to run away from the Aegis base towards the central park. There are Aegis cars following after you, but between a little bit of super strength, a little bit of levitation, a little bit of just straight up super speed, you're able to outpace them for the moment. But then, the ground begins to shake beneath your feet. You remember the thing that Skull told you. The roots of this tree run deep. And as you get closer towards the park, you see people running panickedly away from that area.
Tyson's gonna power up.
Okay. You're running towards this area, and you see that the ground is shaking beneath your feet. There are people running away from it. The tree itself, you see, beginning to shrink inwards very slowly as it begins to shrivel from the outsides. Immediately, you see one of the branches snap off, and it begins to fall, and it's about to hit, I would say, an ice cream stand with a poor guy who's attempting to sell ice cream.
Gonna try and get him out of the way, or stop the branch from hanging him, whichever.
Yeah, roll to defend.
8 plus 3, 11.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Nell helps this guy by jumping over him and grabbing the branch and redirecting it, so instead of landing on top of him, it kind of lands perpendicular to him.
You see the guy, he was busy trying to sell ice cream, oblivious to all of this. He barely looks up to see the branch, and he lets out a yell right as the branch is about to hit him. You grab it out from on top of him, and he looks at you with wide eyes and holds out an ice cream cone.
I don't have any money on me.
It's on me.
Great, thanks. You probably don't want to be here.
Yep,
Okay.
And he begins wheeling the cart away.
Nell eats the ice cream.
As the rest of the team arrives, Megabyte begins unpacking his gear, and he says, "All right, where's the patient?"
It's the tree.
His eyes light up as you say this.
So we need to get way underneath the tree,
To the nerve of the tree, which is a tooth.
but the thing is, you cannot touch or damage any of the roots.
Oh, don't worry. All of my procedures are very non-destructive. I've taken the Hippocratic Oath. Do no harm.
Great, really, really important to do no harm to this tree.
Great, I won't. And then he immediately jumps in with the drill and the tree seems fine.
Nell nervously eats the ice cream.
That might have been my favorite face I've ever seen you make. To the nerve of the tree, which is a tooth, and this is right excitement.
Alright, meanwhile, on the other side of things, Diego, what you are sensing, it would be best described as suction, yeah, I know, but in this context, basically what Soozan is trying to do is to pull you out of this technology using her superior grasp of your powers. I'm gonna ask you to take a powerful blow.
Sure can. That's a 7.
7, alright. On a 7 to 9, you can choose one of the options.
I'm gonna struggle past the pain and mark 2 conditions.
Yeah.
And hope this doesn't. Part of it is going to be angry, because that makes sense.
Yep.
And insecure, because I don't know this body.
Alright, and you stay inside of this for long enough. You manage to hold on, but you feel basically part of yourself being torn away from the parts that is inside of this technology. Now, you've seen Soozan split into multiple cells before, but this is entirely new. This sensation that you are no longer a whole person. Meanwhile, on the outside, we see Soozan spit out half of Diego. His legs just start like walking around on the outside. And Soozan will continue saying, and you can hear this echoing throughout your entire person as you're intermingling your beings together.
Can I speak? Or is
Yes,
this like,
you can speak.
I can speak? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll just shout to Seafarer. Farah, break the others! Help me break them!
Seafarer, you can't see her from where you are, but you immediately start hearing jets of water being shot out, and you hear even more rumbling as the sound in this cavern becomes deafening as the machines are struggling against all of this resistance. We see the wispy white essence that turns red as it leaves the crystal being sucked out of the big white thing in the center of the chamber. Soozan says to you, inside of your head, or inside of all of you at this point,
I don't know how many times I have to tell you this, but it's every person for themselves here. If you stop this, you'll be stuck! Like me! Do you want to be a monster forever?
Break bad, you said.
I did. I'm inside this stuff, and this stuff is sucking the energy out of the Yggdrasil crystal.
yes.
Can I touch that? I want to like reach out and touch, as Susan's saying, do you want to be the monster forever? And yeah, part of him wants to help his friends, but part of him is just like, shit, like, Susan's right, and then the thing's right in front of me, so I'm gonna try to touch it and see what happens.
I think what we see on the inside is a gathering of red, wispy inner energy into a small chamber within the machine. We see your consciousness floating through the pieces of the machine to reach towards the core of it, and you see all this energy being concentrated. And you extend yourself just a little bit further and pierce through the encasing. And the energy kind of flows around inside of this space and into you. Would you please read that custom move out loud?
Shit. Drink the blood of Yggdrasil. The blood of Yggdrasil is infused with the All-Father's all-seeing wisdom and is said to reveal the true self. When you drink the blood of Yggdrasil, roll plus the label that you most wish you embodied. On a hit, you are transformed. Tell us how. On a 7 to 9, the effect is unstable or temporary. Either way, shift the label you chose up and another label down. On a miss, your true self is not what you want it to be. Mark a condition GM's choice and the GM will shift your labels. Whew.
I think it might be Yggdrasil.
Yggdrasil?
Yggdrasil.
Yggdrasil?
Yeah, that's wild.
I have a question for you. For Diego or Chameleon or whoever he wants to be, what is it that he thinks he is and what is it he wants to be?
Roll plus the label you most wish you embodied. I think that's mundane.
Okay.
I think that he wants to be mundane again.
So, you gotta roll plus mundane.
Okay, which is -2.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's my lowest. Okay. That's a 6.
6. I believe
That's a miss.
on a miss, your true self is not what you want it to be. Mark a condition, which I believe is your last condition.
That's hopeless.
Yep. And I will shift your Let's go freak up and superior down.
Okay.
So we see the machinery itself beginning to bust open as Diego, you begin to transform as you come into contact with this. You look at yourself as this is happening. You look at what you would hope to be flesh, the hands that you remember, but then you begin to see instead your scaled self coming into being, and the machine bursts open as you emergently yell, scattering bits of Soozan all around you as this happens, and then you pass out. Meanwhile, on the outside, Megabyte continues drilling down into the root system. You can hear him saying through an echoey voice, "I've almost got it! Give me a few more minutes!"
Nell continues to nervously eat the ice cream, completely not even noticing that a lot of it has just melted over their hand that's holding the cone.
Now that might not actually be the case because this tree is still deteriorating and the ground around this area is also deteriorating.
Oh.
We see that the earth begins to crack and swallow up various different pieces of this park. I think we see some emergency services beginning to pull up to try to help other people to evacuate, but there are definitely stragglers still left over. Nell, you actually might recognize various different members of your family in the crowd.
Probably. Depending on how much this family tells each other, they might know more about what's going on than Nell does.
Beyond that, we actually see the tree itself kind of beginning to start leaning slowly as if it's about to fall.
Nell is deeply concerned about all of this. They don't entirely understand exactly what it means. They just know all of this is very bad. Would Nell understand what it means to lose the connection to Asgard?
Yes, it's not something that comes up a lot, but basically there are different anchor points throughout the world, usually underneath large trees, that basically let the energy of Asgard flow through an area. If this were to fall, then you would lose access to your powers for a bit until another one was established or until you went to some different area to top off.
Okay. That's much less bad than I thought. But still, Nell is taking this very personally because they've had both their uncle and their cousin telling them that they are not good enough and that they're doing everything wrong, and this is entirely up to them. Nell has no idea if this will work, but their thinking is there's something I can do directly with this tree to help give it some additional energy, life force, to counteract what's being drained from it.
Okay.
That's their thinking when they go to this tree, and they're kind of holding it upright, but knowing that ultimately doesn't matter. If it dies, it dies. It doesn't matter if it's upright or horizontal.
Yeah, it might not matter to the powers, but it does certainly matter to everything in its path, because it's this huge ass tree.
So,
do you have something?
I was gonna see if I could use my moat ability. I can use powers to hold back a threat.
Here's what I would say. I don't think you can hold it up, super strength aside, because of leverage.
yes.
But you can definitely unleash your powers to try to give this thing more life. Meanwhile, you can also hold it up to keep it from falling, because either one of those would kill the tree, essentially.
He'll spend a burn point. I'm gonna keep going with the mage hand motif of these two big hands holding up the tree.
Okay. And we see the tree kind of beginning to fall more, but then these spectral hands come up to catch it and hold it in place as... What did you get on your unleash?
4.
4. That's not quite enough.
Not quite.
No. This is a scenario in which you think that you might be able to do this, but you have no idea on how. You got your hands on it, you try pushing your axe against it, and there's no response currently. There is actually a bit of blowback as a result. As you put your hands on the tree, you begin to feel the damage that is being done to the link. Can you take a powerful blow for me?
And do. That's a 7. I think I give ground. Opposition gets an opportunity.
Mm-hmm. As you do this, you basically have to recoil from it to avoid the continued pain that you would feel from being in contact with the tree. What is Kitty up to in this time.
I guess she's probably clearing people and stuff away from the disintegrating ground.
Okay. Kitty, as you're beginning to run around the area, you're just like grabbing people along the way, pulling them out of the range of the ground being torn up. Another familiar face in the crowd. This is a small child carrying an ice cream cone that you know as Carson Carmichael Jr. As you lay eyes on him, you see the ground between his legs beginning to split, and he kind of ends up doing the splits more and more as he's like, oh no, oh no, oh no!
Kid, move it!
Are you trying to provoke him to move it?
I think, yeah, she's gonna try to provoke him to move it.
Alright.
7 plus 3.
That definitely snaps him out of it as you like zoom in front of him and just like, move it! And he realizes, oh right, I can walk!
Does he keep his ice cream or does he drop it?
He keeps his ice cream on a 10.
Yeah, alright.
Ricochet
drops
takes
it.
his ice
I was
cream.
gonna say he drops it and Kitty catches it.
Yeah. And then she realizes she's wearing a helmet and she can't eat it, and she gives it back.
Aw.
Yeah.
Just then we hear a voice echoing from down below. I've got it! Jump down!
Nell briefly makes eye contact with the others and jumps down.
Alrighty.
Going down.
And the three of you all jump down into this big root canal that feels a little bit like a slide.
Yeah.
It kind of takes a lot of different loops along the way, but you are eventually deposited out into the central chamber and land upon a giant bed of cotton swabs.
Huh. I didn't know Tweez had that.
And as you land there, you see Soozan Ooze attempting to reconfigure the machine to try to get to another dosage of the blood of Yggdrasil. And meanwhile, Seafarer is tending to Diego. Diego, you can clear one condition of your choice.
Okay. I'm gonna clear Hopeless because I don't want that -2 to unleash my powers.
Okay.
There is hope in love. I'm just kidding.
Nell immediately makes sure Kitty is okay and then makes sure Tyson is okay. And then we can see Soozan.
Yes.
Is she interacting with Diego at all, or mostly just focused on?
She is focused entirely upon her objective, which is to try to get a cure from the machine.
Alright, I would like to throw out a blade beam between her and the machine.
Okay. You can definitely do that. I believe you were trying to provoke her in this scenario.
Yeah, I think that is accurate.
Give me that roll.
12.
12. Alright.
12.
So you throw out this blade beam, and it passes within inches of her face, cutting off her nose, which immediately crawls back onto her. And she turns around, or rather, her face moves around on her body to face all of you, the three of you, Diego and Seafarer, as we enter battle against a powerful enemy as a team.
Yay!
Who is the leader of this group?
That's a good question.
This is Diego's fight, isn't it?
It does feel like Diego.
Yeah.
Okay. I was unconscious though.
He's
Yeah.
not conscious. He was the one who was here from the beginning, and he does seem to be the focal character for this
He
one.
is up at this point. I think Seafarer basically helped you to recover.
Sure. I come to, and suddenly my friends are there. What the hell? What? And I just see my hands back to the scaly self. Shit! It didn't work.
I think as you say that, Seafarer offers you a hand, and she says, I think it worked. You are exactly who you need to be right now.
Oh, hey, thanks. Hey, you guys, what are you doing here?
Saving the Tree of Life and also you?
Saving the Tree of Life, huh? Okay.
I mean, you didn't think we were just gonna throw you here and leave you.
No, of course not. Thank you for coming. Hey, no time to explain. Point is, I never intended to betray you. I wanted a cure. But fuck the cure. The cure's not gonna help.
Oh, I thought you liked them.
I do. I love them. Focus. I couldn't get to Soozan. Maybe the three of you can. You couldn't save the tree. Maybe I can. And just so happens that I forgot to tell you, Michael, that fail reached my full potential.
Okay.
Which means I want to unlock my moment of truth.
Okay. You can tell me whenever you choose to use it.
So I think, without even thinking, he starts delegating. Okay, Ricochet, you're the fastest. Machines, they need to be broken. You two, Soozan, don't let her follow me. I'm going to lend myself to the tree. And I think that his moment of truth is literally he saw Soozan split herself. He got torn in two by Soozan and he still survived. The moment of truth says, it's so easy to forget that you are not your body and you're not the voice in your head. You're both. Be the monster and save them anyway. Smash down the walls, speak softly, because when you embrace it, you can do anything. Of course, putting on a display like this is sure to rile up those who see only the monster when they look at you. So I want to essentially, preferably on the surface so people can see it.
Okay.
But I want to split myself apart and go to many different portions of the tree to help bring it back.
Are you saying that you want to still have Soozan's powers in this moment?
I am saying that maybe Soozan influenced him, helped him realize that he too can split in two. / he has broken his finger and thrown it, so he knows that he can do that, but it's just a case of to what limit. I was thinking he was going to touch the wood and nurse the tree back. Reinforce the tree, bring it back to a still upright, maybe even use himself as leafy vines to like bind it.
Okay, cool. So I think the team begins to engage Soozan. Before because it seems like we're still gonna have to deal with Soozan. Let's do the team mechanics. Does the leader have influence over every teammate?
I have influence over Nell, Tyson, and Kitty.
Yes, so you add one additional team. What is your purpose in this fight?
My purpose, I think, right now is to save the tree.
Does anybody have a different purpose?
Yeah, our ultimate goal is to save the tree.
Cool. We add another team to the pool. Does anybody in the team mistrust the leader currently?
Yes.
Okay, that's valid. We take one team off, and the team is ill-prepared or off-balance, I believe, in this scenario.
3.
Cool, so we add 3 team to the pool. 4 team total at the moment, as we see. First off, Diego, you begin absorbing the essence of the tree as you go towards the center crystal and begin turning into a wooden self, but also you begin to feel the energy of that crystal is being absorbed into you as well, giving you feel in this moment powerful. In the past, you've only been able to absorb dead substances, things that aren't alive. But there is something living and powerful and divine in this thing that is currently becoming part of you. And you grow up through the big slippy slides that Megabyte formed and begin to encompass the entirety of the tree. You see the hands that are currently holding the tree up, and you effortlessly take the job away from them as the tree begins slowly shifting back towards center. The entirety of the rest of the people around the area, the EMTs, the police and the fire department that have been helping to try to get people out, they pause, they stop, and they point upwards towards what is happening.
Can I say that every now and then an actual head morphs because Diego can't help it, and he's like, oh, hi. And he just keeps doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Meanwhile, down below, Soozan Ooze is going to immediately attempt to envelop Nell as the one who challenged her. Does anybody do anything? Or is this just happening?
I mean, if you want.
I think Kitty would step in the way of this.
Okay.
Which I think, given the limitations, of Kitty's powers, the way that she would try to stop Soozan from enveloping Nell would be a combination of trying to freeze Soozan in place, but because Soozan is so gelatinous, that only kind of works. And also literally just running around in a circle around Nell, nope, you can't get them if you can't get around me.
You're forming a blender.
Yes.
Essentially. Can you roll to defend?
Yes. That's a 9.
Cost you. Expose yourself to danger or escalate the situation?
I will expose myself to danger.
I think that you begin running around in the circle to form basically a barrier around Nell. Soozan just sticks a gelatinous appendage into your path, and you into the... You are beginning to realize that if you stay in here, you won't be able to breathe. What is the rest of the team doing?
Slashing at Soozan Ooze.
Cool.
In part to free Kitty, but also to hurt Soozan Ooze. So probably full blade beam style.
Awesome. I think that's a directly engaged, and you have the powers to back that up.
Ooh.
That's 2 6s.
Okay.
That's one.
What do you do?
Not 12.
I think I, A, take something from them, being Kitty, Secondly, impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition.
Okay, because you chose to impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition, Soozan Ooze is going to mark hopeless, and because you are hurting her, she's also going to mark angry. But describe how you get Kitty out.
Nell slashes their axe down sort of right next to where Kitty is glommed in there. It also unleashes a blade beam all the way through Soozan. And because it cleaved this hole in, Nell reaches their free hand in and pulls Kitty out.
There's no air in there.
I can't imagine so. You okay?
As this happens, though, you pull Kitty out, but immediately Soozan retaliates with a stream of gelatinous ooze that strikes you directly in your face. Her goal is actually to suffocate you.
Ooh.
Can you roll to take a powerful blow, please?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Uh-oh, damn.
A 10 is very bad.
Yes, it is.
Can I help? Can I just use a shielding move?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is just gonna be him throwing a piece of debris, rock in the way of Susan's.
Telekinetically.
Yeah. Block it.
Okay, can you roll +3 then?
13.
Perfect defend.
Nice.
Want to choose an option from the defend list?
Clear a condition.
Yeah. Since Soozan Ooze just marked 2 conditions, she's going to act upon that and immediately rush towards the console of this siphon that she's built, having distracted the team for long enough to give herself a brief opening. And she begins pushing various buttons, pulling the lever down all the way to try to make it go as fast as possible. Diego, up above, you begin feeling the siphon beginning to pull at your own energy as well. Tell me how you fight it off.
Oh, jeez. Oh, I want to say that this kind of forces him to sort of return back to that humanoid self. So as much as he's trying to spread himself, he begins to retract, and there's a head and a torso that forms. But he's like, no. And he like tries to continue to spread himself. I imagine it's horrifying to whoever's seeing, because it's just him going, "Ah!" And he's fighting through it, using every curve that this tree has to further grip himself.
And I think because you use your moment of the truth, basically this thing that Soozan did won't work. It cannot work because this is your moment.
Help.
You feel the tree beginning to settle back into its base and become once again solid in the ground. And inside of the cavern we see the energy crystal pulse outwards with a big beam of radiant light that pushes all of this siphon machinery off the sides of everything, also knocking Soozan away from the area, yelling with a roar. What is everybody doing?
Can we do like a big combined team move?
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
One thing I was thinking of was getting into her head to make her think that she is her desired self. Radical acceptance.
So to fit with Kitty's possible ability to stop some of the jiggle, it could be very interesting if somehow we combo it so that at least for a temporary moment, her body is frozen in this much more humanoid than usual form. Like, you know...
I sculpted.
Yeah, she's almost ice sculpted of ooze, but I don't know like how we bring Nell's abilities into that to kind of make that work.
Another option would be for Kitty's power to compress her enough
Oh.
that Nell's thing here could just be to break the equipment.
Yeah. Okay, game time. What is happening?
Kitty's using her freeze stuff in place powers so that every time she jiggles in, she gets frozen a little bit more and she can't jiggle out further, so that eventually she sort of freezes into this fairly normal person form temporarly.
Okay.
Tyson wants to get into her head. Tyson wants to get into her head and make her think that, yeah, this is my ideal figure.
So you dive into Soozan Ooze's mind and you identify what she looked like in the past. And you're basically replacing her current conception of herself with that.
She hot?
No. No. How do I describe this while being respectful? She seems like she had some sort of skin condition in the past anyways. And she has never been accepted by anybody.
Alright, Tyson goes, oh, wait a minute.
but gives a radical acceptance.
So you are able to implant this. Now, I want you to roll comfort or support, because that is what you're doing in this scenario.
I have angry and insecure.
Minus
That's
2.
-2.
And you're rolling plus mundane.
So -3.
Damn. Good luck.
Oh!
It's a 0.
That's
It's
a 0.
Literal 0.
0?
I rolled a 3.
Oh boy.
Take away 3.
Damn.
You succeeded in doing what you set out to do, but this doesn't have the effect that you wanted it to.
Excellent.
This doesn't make her feel better about anything.
Okay.
This makes her angrier. This makes her
Spiral.
Yeah, this makes her spiral. She's going to mark insecure. Diego, you're coming back down as you've stabilized the tree. Do you want to tell me how you would like to end this?
Oh man. I mean, I don't want to steal their thunder.
We just done fucked it up real bad.
It's your moment of the truth.
This whole time, I've been wanting to tell Soozan/Diego, it's your actions that make you the monster, not what you look like. But Nell has no reason to hide who they are. They're generally well regarded.
Yeah.
They come from like a very supportive family.
I
So
think-
it just feels so tone deaf to come from them.
I think deep down, Diego knows that. It's just a case of P17.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I think after doing this and after saving the tree, he jumps down, sees what's going on, realizes this is not going to end unless someone talks Soozan down. So I think he's going to try to talk to her. Quick word to everybody like, tree's safe. Everything's good. Great job.
We see Soozan kind of like straining against the restraints is not the right words, but the limitations that Kitty is putting on her as various different parts of her are trying to shoot off, extend out from this area.
Hey, Soozan, enough.
What?
Enough. We're done. You're done. It's not worth it. Okay?
What did you know? You haven't had to deal with this for 40 years of life.
You said she had a skin condition. Can I see it? Is it visible?
I think, yeah, she might be, because of what Spectre did, she might be taking on some elements of her previous self.
Okay. So I can definitely see some of like what she used to look like.
I thought it was all in her mind.
Yeah,
But she can,
the mind is the body.
yeah, and she can kind of shape her
Shapes,
body
you're
in
right.
different ways, so she
You're
may
right.
like subconsciously be doing it.
She said you didn't have to put up with this for 40 years. So I think he just says, no, I haven't, but I'm gonna have to. And I just hope that someday I don't turn into you.
It's gonna mark her last condition of guilty. And Soozan just shrinks into a puddle of ooze as all of the fight leaves her.
Fine. Take me to Aegis lockup or something. I don't want to be here anymore.
I'm going to touch the tree roots or something to like make my hand into a box. Hold it out.
And a maybe football-sized amount of Soozan Ooze crawls in.
Oh. Hey, for what it's worth, maybe I'll visit sometime. You like chess?
I can't say I ever played.
You like Monopoly?
Nobody
likes
likes
it.
Monopoly.
Soozan says at the same time as Nell.
How do you feel about tabletop RPGs?
It's comic books.
We see the rest of the damage control being handled by a mixture of local authorities and Aegis, who are, they want to be more aggressive towards you all, but they know that currently they can't because everybody just saw this team was the one who was saving people. But you get Stink Eye from Hammerheads, and you know that this is not the last that you've heard from this agency.
do me a favor. Hell, it'll look really badass. Chop off my hand when I get there.
Why?
Because Soozan Ooze is in it.
Oh, with the ball.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like dropping it at their feet.
You sure that's not gonna hurt?
Just go for it. It's fine.
Alright. Nell's very wary of this. But does it?
Mm-hmm. I think it works perfectly fine.
Boom, and it falls right at their feet.
And Hammerhead will just look down at that and say, "Good job. It's nice to know that we can always rely on the Varsity Knights."
And Megabyte's still incompliant with your agreement?
I am! And I gave a tree a root canal!
Yeah, I gotta say, that was unexpected, but good job.
Yeah, also weird. Like, I know she just tried to kill a portion of the Tree of Life, which also would have completely killed my powers and also killed my cousin's powers and all of that, but I do still kind of feel sorry for Soozan.
That's nice to know. And Agent Hammerhead will grab the box and say, "We're done here." And then walk away.
Before Agent Hammerhead walks away, Tyson wants to prevent her from walking.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
But just enough. I want it to be like unspoken. Like Tyson makes her have to work a little bit, and so what would happen is as she goes to turn, she's not in full control of it.
Can you roll to unleash your powers, please?
Yeah. Oh yes. So that's an 8. So what Tyson would put in her head is, I can take away your legs too. And he's just standing there looking at her.
Okay. She'll walk away from that.
I'm gonna unmark insecure, because that was a foolhardy move without getting permission from the group.
Sure.
Yeah, yep.
What's up?
So there are two things that Diego would like to do here. One, can we please say that there was a pizza delivery driver that almost
Sure.
got hurt
Sure,
and
sure,
didn't
sure.
because of me?
Yep, sure.
He's gonna try to snag a free pizza from him. Not steal.
Same guy who was doing the ice cream, actually.
Yeah. Great.
Oh,
So
it's Jay's pizza cart.
So Diego feels like he's probably going to be fine with Nell, probably going to be fine with Kitty. He feels the most divided from Tyson.
Until he
after-
finds out that Kitty framed him.
Until that. He would like to get the pizza and also get a quick word with Farah.
Sure. We'll get the quick word of Farah first. I
Okay,
think.
sure.
So I think Farah is helping to redirect any of the burst pipes so that everything is being put back together correctly. As you approach, she says, "So you got your scales back?"
Yeah. I used to think that this was, I don't know what I used to think. I guess maybe I morphed with some fish while I was out for a swim or something. But anyway, if you ever want to go for a swim, I'd be down. If you wanted to.
That is a good offer. I mentioned that I came here as an exchange student so that I could stop Soozan Ooze and also to get away from what was happening back at home in Atlantis.
Right?
Well, we've stopped Soozan Ooze, so the only reason I would be staying now is to run away from what's happening back at home.
Oh, shit.
And I thought that maybe that was okay, but then I saw what was happening when, Soozan was attempting to fix her problems instead of just accepting what it was, and she kind of looks at you as in your scaly, not fleshy self. And I don't know if running away is a good idea.
Got it. So you're leaving.
Maybe soon. I still need to send word back.
Wow. That's a bummer. It was nice to have somebody around who didn't look normal like me.
You could come with me if you want. To Atlanta. I told you that you would fit in right in amongst my people.
I think Diego looks over at his team, and while there's clearly some tension still, they saved the day, so I think he just says, my people are right here. But Soozan Ooze can always escape from jail, and then you'd be right back here, right? So, there's hope.
Farah kind of like looks at you with a big smile, and then she leans in and gives you a little kiss on the cheek. And I think we see the coloration of her scales spreading down the entirety of your body in a ripple that just passes almost too soon. And she says, I told you you were a nice person. You can clear a condition as if she comforted or supported you.
No, I think you got a condition for me.
The last thing I want to do is, he's no longer insecure. The last thing I want to do is ask her, hey, you know that mentor of yours? Calfax, Prince of the Seas? King of the Seas, sorry. Mm-hmm. You know, I happen to know a certain 12-year-old with a first issue of the comic book who would really like to meet the Calfax. Not right now, but if we can arrange it.
I can see what I can do.
I think it'd be
He's
very
a pretty
special.
chill dude for being a king. Is that how the saying goes up here?
Yeah.
Good.
Chill. Yeah, totally chill. Listen, here's the address, and he writes down Bob Grico's apartment address, but he writes it with a roof, and he hands it to her. He's like, I don't know, we'll be there tonight with pizza. I'm working on the pizza.
Tonight?
Or
you'd have to come
tomorrow
all
night.
the way from Atlantis.
Fine, next week. It's fine.
Not right away, but tonight.
I got some bridges to mend with the kid anyway, so next week or something.
Okay. Good luck.
And then he goes for the pizza.
Okay. And what's the conversation for the team look like as you were all wrapping up with the cleanup and making sure that everybody's safe and the team can go find somewhere quiet and private?
Tyson's still moody because he's still angry. That's the only condition he has left.
I'd like to just walk up to Tyson and tap him. Hey, man. No longer saying kid.
Hi.
Can I sit?
Sure.
I got your favorite. Plain cheese.
Thank you.
You did some good stuff back there.
Oh,
Yeah.
like what?
He starts thinking about, shit, I didn't actually see him do anything. You know, you had Nell's back, you had Kitty's back.
You didn't actually see a thing, did you?
No.
You did some really cool stuff too that I didn't see at all.
I did. I can't wait to tell you about it. If you want to hear about it. You want to tell me about your thing?
Well, you can go first. He opens up the pizza box and the first slice.
Oh. Me?
I'll go first, but I'm giving it to you first.
He reaches for it and then turns to cheese.
If I take a little bit from your hand, is that like eating a person?
I think so. So don't try.
Alright.
So anyway, I'll start from the beginning. I met this really hot girl from Atlantis. Yeah. Start eating and chatting as I'm trying to comfort and support him.
Does that work for you?
Yeah. He gets really mad, but then
So-
you give him pizza and you have
So
a
you
nice
do
time.
have to roll plus mundane for that. And
That's a -2, but I'm gonna do it just for fun. 7!
hey, that works.
Yeah!
So, comfort or supports. On a hit, they hear you. They mark potential, clear a condition, or shift labels if they open up to you.
You're a condition.
So you're gonna have to open up to him in order to do that.
Ooh. What about you? What happened on Aegis Base?
She, Hammerhead took my legs. She had this machine thing. I guess they have it all over there. And she turned on a switch and I was standing and then I felt on the ground. And I'm not going to let her forget it.
No, I don't blame you. Gee, man, I'm sorry. A switch, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. You got any plans this weekend?
The same thing we do every night.
Because I'm thinking it'd be cool to break a switch this weekend. What do you say?
Like, what?
Like, let's make sure she can't ever take your legs again.
Can we finish the pizza first?
Of course. No, yeah, after. Yeah.
I want to know, you are suggesting breaking into an Aegis base at this point.
Just go with it.
This is premeditated harm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just.
What else, is there any other things that the team would like to discuss before we wrap things up?
What about your helmet?
She stole a new one.
You don't have to paint over or anything, or.
I think she would have stolen one that looked a lot like the other one, so it wasn't, obvious in that sense.
What if your cousin, uncle, family member?
Your uncle dad.
Yeah. Cousin? Skull? Wherever he went.
So he's probably actually in the area at this point. He was helping you out in the way that he could without his powers.
It's probably weird as fuck seeing him plain clothes.
Yeah. You've never seen him outside of his costume, really. Except for when he was going undercover.
Yeah.
And you are beginning to wonder if he owns a second outfit. Because it's the exact same clothes that he had for that.
It makes sense. That's what he was wearing when he went undercover and then he got captured while undercover.
You should ask him to go shopping. Like, take him shopping.
Yeah. At any point in any of this, did we find the sun shield?
Oh, yes, the sun shield was among the equipment that was being used to siphon it. Sorry, I should have mentioned that.
Yeah, there were a few times when I thought of asking, but it didn't seem an appropriate time.
Mm-hmm.
So Nell has that.
Yeah. So you approach him and you give him back his shield.
Yeah.
I think you see him take the shield hesitantly, and then he straps it onto his arm, and you see him attempting to focus on it, but there is no light that comes from the shield. It seems like whatever happened to his powers, they're not back.
Is that like a fixable thing?
I do hope so. We'll fix it. I'm sure we will. But if it weren't fixable, then the city would be in good hands.
Yeah?
Yes, I think so. I mean, you did great.
You think so?
Categorically, yes.
Good.
In fact, for now, why don't you hold on to this?
You sure?
If I ever can use it again, I can just summon it back. But until then, I think it's safer with somebody who has abilities.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Well, cousin, I want you to know that I'm incredibly proud of you right now. And I think Hati would be proud of you as well. As he reaches around and claps you on the shoulder. But in this moment, I think you have a flash of a vision. You see yourself. You're holding the shield. You're holding your axe in the other hand. Blood stains the rims of both. The sky behind you is black and red, tinged by the fires on the horizon. And your eyes are glowing with the embers of Ragnarok.
Nell kind of freezes at that, and then kind of snaps back. I should probably put this somewhere safe, and maybe go hang out with my girlfriend.
Right, yes, you're dating somebody. Great, don't let me get in the way. Although if you want advice, I've dated people in the past.
Have you?
Yes, mostly superhero people.
Really?
Yes, I won't say who specifically, but...
I mean, Kitty's just, a classmate, not a superhero, so... No, not quite the same, but, really?
Yes. Is that so hard to believe?
Kind of?
I kind of thought that I came across as charming.
I mean, maybe.
I'm going
Actually,
to go
there's
before
one of my
ego...
classmates that really wants to meet you. I can tell you about that later.
I don't like that direction. I'm going to walk away from this before my ego gets hurt anymore. Good job! He ruffles your hair and then heads off.
Because I like the contrast of this, I think Ricochet comes up to Nell at that point. She's Ricochet because she's still in all of her Ricochet costume and is just like, hey, we should do something normal this weekend.
Yeah, that'd be really, really nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You want to go to the mall?
That sounds fantastic.
Great, it's a date.
Yeah, it is. I got it this time.
Good.
Yeah, I should put the shield away. Don't tell Tyson that I have it.
Okay. Probably wouldn't have anyways.
Okay. I'm gonna make sure I don't tell Tyson that I have it.
Alright. And I think that's where we can end this one.
Clearly, we have to do another session with a mall trip and a breaking the switch that took away Tyson's legs.
We're gonna Ragnarok next, assuming
that would be, if this kept on going, that would be a long-term planting.
Not
So that
Ragnarok
gives
Mall.
you time to get done with Legacy.
Nell Mall Ragnarok.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
But long term.
Well, there's 5 team in the pool for next
That we
time.
never use.
Yeah.
I think time would pass and it would reset to 1.
Darn it! There's so many team in the pool.
Hello, and thank you for sticking around. This volume of the Varsity Knights was run by Michael Yang, using the Powered by the Apocalypse system of Masks, A New Generation. I would like to thank our players and musicians who were part of this project. And I also have some exciting announcements. We will be taking a hiatus for the next few weeks, but fear not, we shall be back soon. On July 3rd, 2024, Roleplay Radio will premiere How to Pirate Space, a 5-episode mini-campaign. Follow a crew of space pirates as they seek answers to questions like, where are we? What can we steal? And who killed our pilot? This sci-fi tale uses the Stars Without Number system, and it is run by Rin Garnett. Thanks again. This episode was recorded in Watertown, Massachusetts, which is also the traditional land of the Pecasset and Nonantum peoples. See you in a few weeks.